In this lesson, you'll learn about the URI Matcher class and how to use it to manage the use of your content provider URIs. As you might guess, constructing code to respond to various URIs within an app can get a bit complex. There can be lots of different paths that need to be routed to lots of different sections of code, depending on lots of different URIs. Our Notepad sample is relatively simple. Imagine the possibilities with a data structure with a couple of dozen columns and dozens of potential paths into the data. This is where the URI Matcher class comes in handy. The URI Matcher class and objects provide a convenient way to route processing within your app depending on URI specifics. And this graphic shows a template for how it's done. There are 3 steps. First, creating the URI Matcher, then setting up the matching paths and codes, and finally switching to route processing via switch method. So let's go through each step and then we'll look at example code in our Notepad app. In the first step, you create an instance of the URI Matcher using the URI Matcher constructor, giving it a code for any root URI structures. If there are no common root structures, the code should be -1, as we've set it in this example here using the nomatch constant. In the setup step, you add entries to the URI Matcher for each combination of authority and path you want to match to a code, which will be used in the next step, switch function. Note that you can use an asterisk to match any character and a £sign to match any number. In this example, we've matched the combination of Notepad authority and the notes path to the constant notes. And notes has been defined, as we'll see in the app code, as a 1. And we've matched the combination of Notepad authority and notes /# to the constant notes ID, and notes ID has been defined as a 2. Finally, in the switch step, the match method of the URI object we created is used to send the execution sequence to the appropriate case statements for the corresponding URI. The first is for notes, the second for notes ID, followed by any others we might have. And now let's take a look at the Notepad sample app code that implements the URI Matcher. The code implementing the URI Matcher in the Notepad app is located in the Notepad Provider Java file, which I've already opened up here, and let's expand that window. First, starting at statement 94, we have constants that we'll use in our URI Matcher statements. Notes is defined as 1, note ID is 2, live folder notes is 3, and these will be used for controlling the switch statement. And next we have the code for our URI matching. And the code for step 1 to create a URI matcher is located at statement 105, and it creates our URI matcher object named SURI matcher. And at statement 120, it's initialized with the nomatch constant. Remember, this is a nomatch for the root only, and it's set to -1, as we can see here. You might have noticed this database helper object here. We'll come back to this in our lessons on database. The code for step 2 to set up matches starts at 123 and sets up matches for notes, note ID, and live folder notes. So notes matches the path notes, note ID matches notes /#, and live folder notes live folders /notes. The code for step 3 for the switch starts at statement 269. It uses the URI Matcher match method, and we see the case for notes, note ID, and live folder notes. And the code within these cases defines database functions that we'll explore in the database lessons. So that's our lesson on URI matchers, and we'll be examining more code in our Notepad app in the next lessons on content providers and other lessons on additional topics. Now on to more content provider lessons.